Perth Tattersalls Bowling Club, and I'm with Calvin Rodgers. And Kelvin's partially blind?
Yeah, all but. This eye's totally blind. This eye I can see around 5 to 10%.
We're going to have a bit of a game, all right, a couple of ends. I'm going to have one end where I play you where I've got full vision, and then the next couple of ends I'm going to wear the mask and act like a B1 player. So I'm going to be a little worse for wear than you. So you've got 10% vision, I've got none. So I'm really looking forward to this challenge. Let's go and do it. Yeah. Thanks very much, Kelvin. All right.
Move the jack back about a foot and you're about 6 inches across the line.
Yeah. Jack as well or the bowl?
Nola.
Nola, right.
You'll go, Brad. Beat that.
Pick the bows out.
Come on, show us your stuff.
Nola's just said jack 28 metres. I wouldn't even know the distance.
Well, you can see it.
So
just
T to T is
bowl.
33.
Yeah, T to T is 33, but 28 metres. So if I say that the jack's 21 metres...
No, you're not bowling 28 metres. The jack is at 28 metres. You have to take this distance off.
So you're bowling about 25.
So
25 metres.
25 and a half.
So the jack's at 28 metres. So how do you know where the mat is then? So you
put it
would
there.
You put it there. Rightio. All right. So that's your... So the person that helps you says the jack's out 28 metres.
Yep.
And that's
up
from
to us to have this end to work out how far the mat is up, and then subtract that off.
If the T is
right. So what? Yeah.
If the T is 32 and the mat, if you line it up with your numbers, you can work out how much to take off the 28 where the jack is.
Right.
Yes.
That's why the numbers are on the side of that.
That's where
That's why the numbers are there.
Yeah. Rightio. Okay. Well, the jack was in. I didn't play against it alongside you over at Inaloo, and I was just amazed how good you were bowling. So, is it all just about feel for you?
Totally.
Totally. So, you've got players out the other end. How do they help you to tell you what weight to bowl?
Yep. So they'll tell me in relation to the jack whether the bowl is heavy by however many metres, short, wide, narrow, and in your head. Your ears, relay that information to your brain, just like a sighted person would with their eyes relaying it to their brain. So it happens the same way from the brain. It needs to come to your arm. So the adjustment happens from there. Memory and muscle memory.
What about your line?
Yep. So if I can see the line, I'm more of a chance of being able to pick my line off the centre line. If I can't see the line, then I'll need a director in front of me placing his foot or standing on where the line is, and I'll direct myself away from the director.
Yeah, rightio. What happens if the jack's moved and it's about 1 metre, 2 metres to the right, or even on the boundary edge?
Yep. So in that case, I'll get my director to walk a straight line to the jack, turn around, and he becomes a centre line. So I direct myself away from him.
Rightio. Okay. And what have you got coming up in the near future?
Yeah, so
it's all excitement for you.
Luckily for me, I've been selected in the Jackaroos para squad, so that gets me over to the Gold Coast to trial against the other squad members, and then over to Birmingham.
Birmingham
with the same squad, and hopefully impress the judges enough to get the nod.
Well, the jack was out 25 metres, but Kelvin moved it.
Okay, Cal, Brad has finished about 2 metres short at about 7 o'clock. So you may want to change.
Here somewhere.
Yep. So you may want to change hands. So I have to paint the picture of the head for Cal. Very good line. You've actually crossed the line this time, so you're a little bit narrow. You're probably a foot narrow of the jack and probably maybe a foot short.
Good thing about Kelvin, he's a left-hander, so he's half a chance of beating me.
Good morning, my name is Nola Forbes. I'm the wife of the president of the Vision Impaired and Blind Bowlers of Western Australia, and I am Wayne's director. We come from Corrigan, so it's quite a distance for us to travel up here, and we're just really, really lucky that Perth Tattersalls Bowling Club allow us to use this as our home base. How directing works, it's a little bit different. Vision impaired and blind bowlers are in 4 categories, B1, 2, 3 and 4. B1 are totally blind, so a director for a B1 player usually stands behind them, sets their feet in the right position, gets them to swing their arms so they can see the direction the bowler's going to go, and then turns their body or their hand so that they can get the right line. The bowlers bowl to a distance. We have markers on the edges of the green, so the director will tell them that they're bowling 26 metres, and the bowler has to work that out, and the director gives them their line. So once the first ball goes down, they usually use a clock situation, so you're looking towards the end of the green and they will tell them where their bowl finished. It may be a metre short at 7 o'clock and wide or narrow, so that they actually know where their bowl finishes, and you build a picture of the head for them so that they and call the shot, but they know exactly what they're bowling to. Most of them have been bowlers before, so it is easier for those who have been bowlers to actually visualise the head. For a B2, 3 or 4 bowler, some of the directors stand in front to give the line, and the bowler will bowl to their toe. For Wayne, I stand probably less than 2 metres in front of him for his vision. Some of them can stand out, 3 to 4 metres. Depending on the vision of the bowler is a lot to do with how the director directs. Kelvin. Kelvin's our star bowler. He's just been away to the Nationals in, where did you go, Kelvin? Port Macquarie, I beg your pardon. And he cleaned up. He won the B2 men's singles, he won the overall men's bowler for the tournament, and he won the overall player of the tournament. He also won the WA Disability Sports Star of the Year award, so he has done so well this year, and he has just been selected in a squad to be considered for selection for the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham. So he will go to trials in January, and we wish him well because we're very proud of him.
Do I let you put the mat down?
No, you do.
I'll put the mat down. So I'll put it out that. Oh, you got to work it out?
Yeah, I'll work it out from there.
Yep, rightio.
Now, just to even things up a bit.
Rightio, let's do it.
So, what?
Rightio, let's do this.
Generally, what we can see, if you want to put the mask up a little bit so you can see a.
No. I actually want to test this. I can see the shoes underneath.
Yep,
so
good.
I can see the shoes underneath.
Okay, the jack is at 28 metres, so you're bowling a similar weight to your bowl before when you could see, Brad.
Rightio, no drama.
You can't see it all.
No,
so
I can only just see the mat.
now, a director for a totally blind people directs a little bit differently, so they usually set your feet up.
Yeah, go.
Okay, do you have a routine? Or do you
Yeah, I normally have this seat there. It's just my front foot, which way I
Yep,
go.
okay. So just do a little swing of your arm.
I've been fortunate to have done some coaching with Calvin Rodgers as part of the Bowls WA Academy team. Calvin came into the academy about 9 months ago on a recommendation from Bowls Australia, to assist him to some higher level coaching to aid him in his desire to play Commonwealth Games for the para squad.
4 feet, right, yeah.
So can you remember,
So
Brad,
that's about that far, isn't it?
Yeah.
with your first bowl, do you remember when you could see without the mask? Do you remember what that felt like?
No, I don't. I get up and look. It's very much like my cricket. I try and have a short memory. But
Now
when
you
you
have to have a long memory,
Now you
because
have to have
can
a
you
long memory.
remember the weight of that ball?
yeah.
Because your next one you'll need to put a bit more on. Okay.
When Calvin first came into the academy, we had a session where we actually focused on what he does, and he spoke to the group about what he thinks when he's actually ready to bowl, and he uses visual imagery and muscle memory an awful lot. So during that session, everybody had blindfolds, and we played a short game, and everybody had a director, as Kelvin does as well, and it was quite amazing, the session that we had and how good everybody actually was at being blindfolded, and when they haven't got a lot of external influences.
So we're bowling blind, mate.
That's good. That's good.
Okay, you're out of bounds by 4 feet.
4 feet out that way.
Out that way.
Right.
And you've run through a couple of metres, so you did a really big correction on weight as well.
Rightio. This is awesome. This.
Calvin's one of those people that you meet only a few times in your lifetime. He's an inspiration not only to our club members as bowlers, but to all people, young and old, who continuously strive to overcome adversity. I admire Calvin. He's overcome a promising football career when he lost his sight, and instead of wallowing into a downward spiral, he turned it around and became a renowned physiotherapist, massage therapist. And he's damn good at it. His personality is one that's always positive. He always finds the silver lining. And his latest battle with bowel cancer has just been another setback. Sure, he took some time to, get used to it, perhaps even grieve for his perceived loss of bowls. And yet here he is. He's been selected for the trials in the Commonwealth Para Games in 2022. Couldn't be more proud of him. Everything that comes his way, he smiles. He just gets on with it. Everything is a positive to him. And if you know Calvin, every time you speak to him, he finishes with a little, just a little giggle at the end. Because life for him is for living, it's not for existing. He just gets on with everything that comes his way. I know literally hundreds of people who don't have a disability, and yet they don't achieve anywhere near as much as what Calvin does every single day. He is very fortunate in that he has the most devoted wife and children and backup of family. His mum, his dad, his mother-in-law, his friends, brothers, sisters. Every single one of them just rallies behind him. And, all of us know that that's not necessarily the case. Often family is who you surround yourself with, not necessarily blood family. And Calvin's very fortunate in that he has not only his blood family, but he has the family of the Harvey Bowling Club behind him. We've got his back. We couldn't be more proud of him, and we wish him all the best. We're striving with fundraisers and support in every way possible without overwhelming him. But again, we're just very, very proud to know him and to have him in our club. And we're immensely proud of his achievements.
That puts a whole different perspective on things. Just with everything with sport, for me, it's just, I see it and just do it. I never really think about feel or anything like that. once you get your technique right, it's all about just what you see and just go with the flow, short memory. But when you're doing it visually impaired, you've got to have a long memory and you've got to think a lot harder.
So it's harder to get the bad bowls out of your head
with
the long memory.
Well, you'd be used to it, but for me right now, it's really mentally draining. Yeah, but probably for you, because you're so used to it, you probably have that short memory like I would, being fully visually right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you agree with that?
Yep.
Or?
Yeah, for sure. But at the same time, I can imagine being a sighted person and bowling, you don't necessarily need to remember things because you can refer to looking at the head or whatever, looking at your opponent's bowls. But once you learn to remember the feel of something, you don't necessarily have to remember where they all finish, but you remember the feel of something. I think it's going to help every sighted person.
Yeah, yeah. So, what's the? So we've got 5 different. We've got sight, hearing, verbal, feel. What's the other one?
Smell in your
Oh, smell. So
touch.
what sense do you use the most?
Feel.
Feel.
I've got this ear's almost deaf. My sense of smell's gone. I lost my vision through a motor vehicle accident, so I've got lots of nerve damage to my head, so my smell and my taste is affected. So therefore, the 4 senses are buggered except for the feel, really. So that's the main thing has heightened, I guess, because the others have dropped away.
That's amazing. So Kelvin has got troubles with his hearing, sight, obviously, smell, taste. It's all about feel. Now I've got all of those other senses. I'll put the blindfold on and I'm struggling big time. This is just awesome. It's a great experience to have with visually impaired Kelvin. Let's go, mate. So what's one skill to a person who's got full vision that you would want them to have with the experience that you've gone through to better their memory?
I guess if it's referring to bowls, the way I generally like to practice when I start my drills is I'll set my bowls up alongside the mat so it's in easy reach, and don't set a jack up or anything. I'll think of a distance I want to bowl to. My first one goes there and my next 3 have to replicate what the first one did. That's just an easy memory thing. So and I don't look up, I can't see where the things are anyway. So after I number my bowls 1 through to 4, so when I go up, I'll have a look where 1 finished, 2 finished, 3 finished, 4 finished, and then because I can sort of remember what it felt like each time, you half know whether one's going to be short or heavy, but going up to check the numbers of the bowls confirms it or changes your mind. But that's generally how I like to start my practice, is get my feel first before I get into any drills.
Right, so there you go. A little lesson for you guys, just to have a little takeaway to improve your bowls from Calvin Rodgers. Congratulations on what your achievements have been. Good luck going over to the Gold Coast and Birmingham, because I know that you're going to get there. We've got that positive WA West is best attitude. We'll be right behind you over there in January, and hopefully we'll be following you over in Birmingham as well. Good luck, mate.
Thanks, guys.
And thanks very much for whipping my backside before the weekend.